Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm here for another terrific Tuesday video. Today I'm going to share with you a really cute project that I am making for our upcoming craft show that I have this weekend. This is the cute little pouch that I've created to hold a little peppermint spoon and a package of your favorite hot chocolate. Now, who wouldn't die to have some Ghirardelli hot chocolate on a cool day that we're having here in Michigan today? So I'm going to share with you the products that I used to create this fun little gift, and also show you how I made it and share with you the dimensions. Now, you could also use, in place of the peppermint spoons, a peppermint candy cane, which is probably what I'm going to be doing since I have the candy cane here on my pocket as a sentiment, or as the embellishment, but I couldn't get to the store today to get any, and I had a couple of these peppermint spoons left over, so I thought I would just show you it with that in there to kind of give you an idea of how cute it's going to look. But I am going to be using candy canes to do these for my craft show. So the bundle that I use is from our holiday catalog, and it is called the Candy Cane Season, and you can see it right here. It's got a stamp set and coordinating punch, and I'm going to show you a couple of little tips and tricks with how I use that punch to maximize my paper. And it coordinates very nicely with the Santa's Workshop Designer Series paper that is part of the Santa's Workshop bundle. So I use this paper right here. So those are the products that I paired together. The paper is $14, and that bundle that I previously showed you together is for 10% off. It is $31.50 for the stamp set and the punch. So a really, really good value. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll share with you how I made this. I started off with a piece of our Poppy Parade cardstock. Now what I did is I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I cut it in half at 4 1/4. So on the 8.5 inch side, I cut it at 4 1/4 so that I can get 2 of these pouches out of one piece of cardstock. I then scored it in advance, but I scored it at 1 1/4 and again at 5.5. And so I'm going to show you how well this works. So I folded that in half. And then all you're going to do is fold this one down, just like that. And you may want to use a bone folder to get some really good creases. I don't have one here handy right at the moment. But from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to decorate this. So I decided to pair the Designer Series paper with some of the Early Espresso cardstock. Now I chose Early Espresso because it kind of matched the packet, the Ghirardelli hot chocolate there. And what I wanted to do was to put this down here as a little bit of an, just to decorate this. This piece of Early Espresso cardstock is cut 4 by 3.5. Now normally what I would tell you to do is to cut your next piece down 1/4 inch, but I actually cut this a little bit shorter, and the reason why is no one's going to see that. It's going to flip down and no one's going to see that. And instead of cutting this paper at 3 1/4, I cut it at 3, because that way I'm able to get more out of it, because it's a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So when you cut it at 3, it's a little bit easier. So this piece is actually 3 1/4 by 3. I'm sorry, 3 3/4 by 3, and so it's a little bit short, but again, you're just going to kind of layer it in there, have the exact same amount of the Early Espresso showing, and this flap's going to come down and cover that right up. So let's go ahead and get that glued in there. I will also have in the description of this video a link to my blog post, and I'll have all of my measurements there as well, so that you'll be able to see them there. And they're also going to be, the text here in my video. I'm sure you're noticing I've got them in there as well. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this down to the front part of this cardstock. And then I cut a piece of this is also from the same paper pack, the Santa's Workshop, and since I'm using candy canes, I thought how pretty it would look to have that incorporated there. So before I do that, I am going to adhere this down. Now, if you do not have, I'm still using some of our fast fuse that's on our clearance rack. If you do not have any fast fuse, you're going to want to use our tear and tape for this part, because you really want that to hold good. Now, I'm not gluing this together, because you can tell from my sample that that is only held together by ribbon, okay? Because that way you can easily get this in and out of there without it being glued shut. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece of candy cane paper, looking paper, onto my project. Now this is cut 1 inch by 4 1/4. I wanted this to go all the way across so that it kind of, I don't know, you could also cut it at 4 if you wanted, but I had lots of this left over, so I decided to kind of make it go all the way across. I then used our starburst punch and cut out a starburst with the early espresso cardstock. And then using the 2-inch circle punch, because these two coordinate very well together, I punched that out with the 2-inch. And then in the stamp set, there is a for you, which is what I stamped on here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere those together. And then I'm going to stamp that candy cane for you, because I want to show you a neat little trick that I learned by making 50 of these for my craft show this weekend. So I'm hoping that everybody will like them. So anyway, so what I did with that, let me bring in my piece of scrap. So the punch is designed to cut out and punch out both the candy cane and the bow at the same time. So it's going to cut it out like this. So what I did is, using the Poppy Parade ink, I went ahead and I stamped in my candy cane. And then again, I kind of looked at it to see where it was going to be stamping or punching. So when I put this in here like that, it's going to punch a white bow for me. And so when I did these, I left a little bit of a spot, and I did like 4 or 5 of them at a time. And what I did then is I went back and I stamped that bow later. So let me show you. This is going to go ahead and punch out. So there is my bow. There's my candy cane. And then I used the Call Me Clover ink. And what I did is I put my bow down, and I was able to line this up, doesn't have to be perfect, right on top of that, and use that exact same little bow that I punched out to stamp all of my bows. So I wasn't wasting any paper by doing it that way. Cute little tip that I've learned. I then used our Whisper White polka dot ribbon, and you're just going to tie this together. Now you don't want to tie it too tight, because this will rip. I found out the hard way, but you're going to want to tie it loosely so you have a little bit of give to have that hot chocolate be able to be put inside of there. I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut this. And then we're just going to very loosely tie this around the hot chocolate packet. Now you could use, there's a really pretty Poppy Parade ribbon that coordinates with this as well. I didn't have much of that ribbon left to be able to make 50 of these. And I must love this ribbon because I've stocked up on it. I have a lot of it. So you can see that's kind of nice and loose, and I used a little bit too much here. Must have thought I was making a bow. So anyway, so there's that. And then we're going to go ahead and adhere down. So what I did is I adhered this down to here like that. And then using some mini dimensionals, if you don't have these mini dimensionals yet, add them to your order today. The link to order is in the description of my video. It's also at kimsbasementbunch.com. These little mini dimensionals are phenomenal. They are, I think I use them more than I use our big ones now, because they're perfect for all this little detail without having to mess with the big ones or cutting the big ones in half, and I love them. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there like that. And then I topped it off with one of our pearls. I didn't bring my pearls over here. One of my pearls went right in the middle of all of them. But there you have a cute little hot chocolate packet that you can put. You could also put other stuff in here if you wanted to. It wouldn't just have to be for hot chocolate, but I thought it was so darling with the hot chocolate or the candy cane here. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed my project today, and I look forward to having you guys also find me on Facebook. I do Facebook Lives every Thursday. If you search for Kim Vogel's Basement Bunch Stampers, ask to join that group. I'll get you included in that. And I look forward to seeing you all back here next Tuesday. Every Tuesday is my Terrific Tuesday with a new project and a new video to share with you. Have a great week, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.